Alrighty. Yeah. The other day, as you know, well, I mentioned it previously. I haven't really showed the video I got from it, but I might put that up. I got stuck in traffic, and a week later almost ended up in a traffic debacle with a 12-mile long, basically, what's his name? Traffic jam, which I narrowly missed. Thank God I was near an exit. And I sort of thought, like, this is fucked. Like, these cops will go and close big chunks of this freeway, and they just bang, close it. You know, it's not like, well, we're going to cut off 2 lanes of the 4-lane freeway. They just close the fucking thing altogether. And, you know, it might be for not just one exit. Usually it's like 5 exits at a time or some fucking crazy thing. Now, there's a big flaw in a lot of this, because although I don't often go there, sometimes I go through another city, or go to another city, or have to go to another city. And, you know, it's a rare case that I do, but there's at least twice that I've left from work, one time being on peak hour, several months back. What I realised is that's to get to an exit that goes to a city, you have to get on another major road. One exit later, you get off again. The only trouble is that it's absolutely fucked. Like, it is just absolutely shagged, because you get on there and you are down to like 2 miles an hour, and you're just inching along like this, and you only got to go like a slightly over a mile, like maybe a mile and a quarter, and you're off again. But at the same token, you know, you're not going to break 6 miles an hour. Oh, no way. No way, no. Are you going to get above that? And I thought, this is fucked. And it turns out that Chinese Sidekick, lives in one of the outer suburbs that you basically got to go to that city, and in the meantime, you know, turn right and you get off into his suburb. But that's the main run that goes, you know, alongside his suburb, is the same one that takes him to another city. Now, I thought there must be a better way. So I got on Google Maps and I looked. And I'm not joking, there are 2 exits that lead to this city. One off this major road, and another off another industrial road, which is a few miles away. There are no small roads that go. It is a 2-lane highway. There are no smaller roads that merge onto it, except the super big one in the capital, and then about another 1.5 miles away in an industrial area of the capital, that other road merges onto it. And then there's the 2 roads, or 3 roads or so, that merge off miles later at these outer suburbs. It is phenomenal, because when these roads are closed, there is no back road. There is no alternative way to take something that will get you onto this road, because you have literally 2 fucking exits inside the capital before you get to the outer suburbs, and that's it. Like, within where, you know, a lot of the roads interchange and all that, there's literally one in an industrial area and one of the supersized triple lane, quadruple lane roads, and that's it. And I said to him, I'm sure Black and Blue, there's some way we can come out of work and instead of trying to get on this road and then get off an exit, as you get on this, you know, road and then you get off at the next exit, you're travelling east. And I said, well, why can't we come up to a road near work and travel east along that? Because I'm sure that this north-south highway is going to hook into this road that's just like, you know, one near us, and it should just travel along and we'd hit into the bottom of it. No, it doesn't even start there. This road starts on this exit that you need to be on a major road to get to. There's no fucking other way. And this is a big part of these traffic problems. Now, another time, how can we see? I've got a bit of chalk here. Might just go and draw this outside because, quite honestly, you're not going to be able to see a great deal in here anyway. Oh well, I've got a notepad here. Alrighty. If this is going to work. Oh, maybe not. You look at these suburbs and you'll have a main road. Nah, it's going to fucking fail me. Fucking shit pen. Bloody shit. You send man to the moon, but you can't get a fucking pen that works. I'll get out some chalk and we'll start rippling this out on the floor. Now, long and short of it is, you look at some of these roads and you got these major highways, you know, like this. And you'll have a suburb and you'll have, you know, exits going off to other larger roads, but the suburb itself will be like this. And that might be a whole suburb, and you'll be very lucky if there's even one single road connecting there, because there usually isn't. It's what I call the bunch of grapes theory, where you got one there and you got one there. Or it may well be that you have one top road and it's sort of more like this. Major highway, exits, one top road, and that'll be your whole suburb, like that. Now, this might actually have, like, multiple smaller streets, so it's only like every fourth street that hooks to this main big road, or it may be that essentially this is your main big road, every big street hooks to it. But it really, generally speaking, they sort of almost work like a bunch of grapes concept, whereby you'll have this, and you'll break your frickin' chalk, and there'll be lots of different little bits and pieces that all branch in like that. But you just have one main road that comes out, and it seems as though they're almost like a curved square that has all these little roots, and there might be the odd court or two on the end of these, you know, and they're all just sort of like this sort of thing, where there's sort of nothing really connects to anything. And to get out of anything, it's all, you've got to come back to one central point, to then come back to another central point, to then get to this one, which then leads you to a larger road, which then hooks to the occasional exit here and there, and that'll be your actual freeway. It's bullshit. What you'll never, ever, ever find is a road that goes from here to here. That won't exist. You won't have major freeway, another exit to major place, and this major highway won't start off a little road down here that you can sort of shoot out of here and get onto this major highway somewhere. Oh no, hell no, this won't exist. It's really like a bunch of grapes, and the stupid thing is some suburbs are actually 2, 3, 4 bunches of grapes that are not connected by anything like that. They're all separate. So many of this inner stuff will connect to maybe 5 different larger streets that are inside this bunch of grapes, that then connects to the main stalk. And that's it. And you'll have one larger road that ultimately has an exit attached to a freeway. What I'm trying to say is this whole city, not the whole city, but a good fucking hunk of multiple suburbs are built with nothing. No exit, no nothing. It's almost as though if they were trying to catch someone who was, you know, doing something in a criminal, driving in a car, and they're chasing them with a helicopter, they could just turn around and go, and that's it. Cut it off, that would be it. They'd be fucked. Because so many of these joints have one entry and one exit. Or one entry and exit one end, maybe one entry and exit the other. That's it. And the rest of it's like a bunch of grapes. There's one stalk or two stalks that holds literally a third or a half or whatever of a suburb. That's it. What happens if a fire goes through? You've only got one way of escaping. What happens if a fucking cyclone, tornado, whatever comes through? I mean, it's not going to happen down here, down south, but what if it did? You're fucked. You can't get anywhere. You know, you're doomed. And this is the trouble. They'll go and close exit, freeway, and that's it. You're fucked. You're going, well, how am I going to get through here? Well, you'll find one of these little roads here, which might run along the top. You know, one of these ones like this, here. And that will be one lane left and one lane right. Like one lane forwards and one lane back. And that's it. And they close off 4 or 5 lanes and you're fucked. You're down to a single lane. What happens? What do you expect happens? It's like cutting off a whole artery and expecting some little fucking 1/8 of an inch vein to take all the blood of an artery. It's not going to happen. So really speaking, most of the traffic problems are purely caused by bullshit road design. And just like this fucking bunch of grape style design that's just, it has you fucked, you know. And it's just unbelievable that they would build fucking stuff like this. With no backtracks, no nothing. They've been told up in the north of the city, or is it the north? No, not the northeast, I think it's just the north, that you have huge big runs of roads, but there's none of them are actual freeways. So you have these roads that go for, you know, huge distances, fucking miles, like 20, 30 miles, but there's still only one way and one the other. And you won't fucking believe this, but there's parts of this city where they more or less don't have a train network. You know, and all they've got down in what they call the Mornington Peninsula, there's buses, and that's fucking it. There isn't any train network. You know, and you just sit there going, what the fuck is this shit, you know? They quack on and on and on and on. Oh, most livable city and this and that, and we got everything down there. This is fucking bullshit. You know, there's serious deficiencies. They done a deal to put in a freeway that was going to speed up people getting to the airport. Now, part of that deal, part of the secret writings in that deal, that only come out like 10, 15 years after the fact, that still, the media still doesn't want to really talk about. It's out there, you know, if you dig, you can find it, but the mainstream media barely ever mentions it at all, is the fact that part of this writing of this freeway that's a toll road that you've got to pay tolls to go on, they signed to say, we will not build a rail link to the airport. Great. Just to push their tolls up because there's no option to take the train. Yeah. Anyway, that's my little rant about that. But I want to talk about something else as well. Pickup trucks. Is it a good idea to have a pickup truck and turn it into a van by putting a canopy on the back, or well, you know, one of those little truck blooming camper trailers? Well, first of all, those things will cost you about 35 grand for a new one. You very rarely see them in this country. Even the new ones, you rarely see people buying. Secondarily, pickup trucks are the most absolute rip-off, overpriced shit you've ever seen. I've seen ones that, oh, fucking hell. I'm going to have to get the calculator out for this one. The mileage they have done on these pickup trucks is astronomical, and I mean, I have seen ones that have done 390,000 miles, 650,000 kilometres, and they're still trying to sell it and still trying to make money from it. I have seen one that was, this is for fucking real, it was $2,800, which is about $2,100 US. This hunk of shit had done 276,000 miles, or 460,000 kilometres, and it was a pickup truck from 1993, Mitsubishi, you know, the cheapest Japanese pickup truck / ute, 2,100 US, 2,800 Aussie, and it had done 276,000 miles, or 460,000 Ks, and it was built in 1993. It's fucked. That amount of miles, its life is over. The Mitsubishis are the cheapest of the Japanese built ones, and at that point, they're fucking rubbish. They're finished. They're gone. You just, game over. And they're still trying to sell them for far more than I can get a Holden Zafira, or you might have had it as Chev Zafira. I don't know if you even had it in the US, or Vauxhall Zafira, as the British know them. I can get one of those for like $2,000, which is like $1,500 US, or something like that. You know, not even that. Maybe $1,400 US, and it's just like, what? You think I'm going to fucking... You got a 2002 model that's done 60,000 miles, that's cheaper than something that's done over 250,000 miles, and one's 2002 and one's 1993. I tell you what, it's just a fucking rip-off. These aren't 4x4s, by the way, you know. If you get like a Ford Explorer, which I know you Americans know exactly what they are, because we had them here for, well, apparently from 95, or sometime around then. I only remember them from about 98, but they were around. There's ones for sale from 95. And they had them through to, what was it, about 2005 or something, maybe 2006. You know, those are peanuts. You get a good one of those. You know, it's done a few, you know, might have done 135,000 miles or something like that. You know, we're talking 220,000 Ks. But they're cheap as shit. They're like $1,400, you know, $2,000 Aussie. And they're like, you look at them and they're freaking big machine, you know? And, you know, I'm not saying they're the biggest in the world, but like, they're big enough, you know, that's a full-size 4x4. And they're worth bloody nothing, you know, compared to a pickup truck, which is not even a 4x4, you know. It's one of these things, it's all, because they're a commercial vehicle, there's so much tax advantage on it, it's not funny. In fact, during the GFC, so they say, and I know somebody who got one this way, you could get a pickup truck and the government would literally pay for 1/3 of it to encourage car sales during the GFC to help along the car manufacturers who were bringing in a lot of shit that wasn't even manufactured here that fell into that category. In fact, everything, just about every single damn thing they brought in, all the commercial vehicles are all manufactured overseas. Even during the GFC back in 07, 08, 09, however long you consider it dragged on for. Well, we've got to help them out. Hang on a minute. The profits from Ford here are going back to the United States, right? None of these commercial vehicles are actually made here, right? So who the fuck are we helping? Huh? Everyone's getting a new commercial vehicle. You're paying for a third of it, and the profits are going back to the United States, and none of these vehicles are made here. How the fuck is this supposed to help the country, or give someone else a job, or let them keep their job that they might have lost? I tell you what, governments, they're all rocket science. The same rocket science that builds roads like this bunch of grapes concept where, you know, you're sure all fenced in basically, you know. And some of these is a reason for it, because there'll be a train line running through there, and then they won't have anything to go over the train line, or they only have certain points to go over the train line. But oh man, it's just the stupidest fucking design known to man, to then sit there patting themselves on the back about how good the city is, and it's crap. There's no alternative route. There's even one of these that had a four-wheel drive track along the beach, and I couldn't even track the bastard from one suburb to the next. You know, now, the official one that's on Google Maps is one thing. The reality is there's some people that have probably managed to punch a hole through the dunes somewhere or whatever, and it may well connect, but I wasn't exactly in a 4x4, and the fact was I couldn't even get to the bloody intersection to even go down the road that hooked onto this four-wheel drive track. Anyways, that's a little waffle on bad road designs and pickup trucks and stuff like that, and yeah.